everyone, it's Tony here. Today's class or sequence is a full body flexibility flow. This class would team up really nicely if you're somebody who works out and goes to the gym and that sort of thing. I always have a couple of blocks and a strap with me for most of my classes, so it's great to have those props if you have them. If you don't, then you can just make do and use your body. I will see you on the mat in a moment. So let's get started. So we'll come forward into child's pose to begin class. Bring your big toes to touch at the back of the mat and take your knees nice and wide so that your belly can fall down in between your thighs. You can stretch your fingers out long or you can wrap them around the sides of your legs to begin. And we'll just start by focusing on our breath. So start to tune into the sound of your breath. And as you become aware of your breath, let it change with your awareness. See if you can make it a little smoother, a little longer, a little more even. Even out the inhales and the exhales. Start by relaxing your face, relax your shoulders, and relax your lower back. And then reach your hands forward, stretch out through your fingertips, and then press down through your palms. Press down through all 10 finger pads, so your thumb, index finger, press them down into the floor, and then gently feel like you're wrapping your triceps underneath, so elbows are pointing towards the floor, and then pull back a little with your hips, so you're actively stretching through the back of your body, the sides of your waist. Take a breath. Take another breath. And see if you can time yourself, your breath with my breath, making them long and slow. I'm breathing loudly into the microphone, so hopefully you can hear it. And then bring the right hand back and reach it underneath the left arm. So take a twist here, stretch it as far over as it'll go, and then pull back on your hips. Tuck your head underneath that left arm. Use the bottom right arm to help twist you. Take one more breath. And slide that right arm out from underneath. Slide the left hand back a little bit closer to the left knee. And on the inhale, peel this right arm open to the sky for a nice open twist. Draw the shoulders back, press the chest through to the right, lift through the top fingers, big breath in. And then on the exhale, bring your body up. If sitting kneeling is not good for your knees, you can come to high kneel, and we'll just take a twist. So if you're low, right hand to the floor, left hand to right thigh. Inhale, lift your chest, your sternum's tall. And exhale, twist to the right. Bring your chin all the way back and even bring your eyes all the way back and around to the other side of the mat. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, walk the hands forwards. Press down through the palms, let the head melt to the floor. And then bring the left hand back and slide it underneath the right arm. Go as far across as you can. Keep reaching the right hand forward, twisting that right shoulder back. Press a little through that left hand. The head is resting on the floor. We breathe. Keep pulling the hips back, using that bottom shoulder to rotate you. Another breath. Really nice, you guys. Slide that left arm out from underneath and then slide the right hand back closer to the right knee. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Twist and look up, so really lift through that top arm. Inhale. And on the exhale, left hand behind you, right hand to left thigh. You can be in your high kneel here. Inhale, lift to your lift your sternum, make yourself nice and tall. And on the exhale, twist. Bring the chin all the way to that back shoulder and then keep going with your eyes. Keep moving them as far to the other side of the mat as you can. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And then walk the hands forward. Bring the knees together and bring your hips down to the floor. Come all the way down to your belly. Slide the elbows forward so they're underneath the shoulders. Press your palms flat and lengthen your legs. Feel like you're trying to rotate your inner thighs up and outer thighs down. The legs can come a little apart. And then press down through your elbows. And on the inhale, stretch the chest forward. So it's like you're trying to drag your elbows back to actively stretch the front of your body. Shoulder blades drawing together and down. And then if you want a little bit more, just check in, see if this feels good for you. If it crunches your low back, maybe it's not for you. But press more into your hands and see if you can lift your elbows. Now, instead of pushing the hands forward to crunch the lower back, I want you to pull back on the hands. So if you can't do that, keep your elbows on the floor. Shoulders down, shoulders back, armpits down. And lengthen through your legs as well. So you're actively stretching across the whole front line of your body, pretty much from your collarbones to your toes. Good. One more breath here. Keep pulling back with the hands to pull the chest forwards. And exhale to come down. Bring the right knee out to the right and then reach the left hand forward a bit. Slide the right arm underneath the left arm again. So this is another twist like we were just doing. Stretch that right arm over to the left as far as you can. And then maybe this left arm reaches further forward. I've got a wall here, so I'm a bit restricted. And press this right hip crease down into the floor. So the bent leg right hip crease, press it into the floor a little. Good. And then slide that right knee back into the center. Slide the right arm out from underneath, come back into your Sphinx pose, elbows under shoulders, point through the toes, and again, if you like, lift the elbows, pull the chest forward, pull the hands back. Nice job, and then come down, left knee out to the left arm underneath the right arm for this twist. You can reach the right hand forwards. Turn your head to the right, press the left hip crease into the floor. Good, and then slide the left knee back into the middle of the mat, slide the left arm out from underneath. Sphinx pose, shoulders back, lift the elbows, pull the chest forward. Good, and then we'll roll all the way down to the floor and slide the hands all the way back. So they're preparing for upward dog. If you have a look back, your wrists should be underneath your shoulders. Underneath your elbows. Wrists should be underneath your elbows. And then grip the mat with the fingertips. From here, we're going to peel up a few times. So on the inhale, the head will come first, then the shoulders, one rib at a time. Peel yourself up and press into the hands. Once you get up here, feel like you're trying to drag your hands back, pull your chest forward, pull your shoulder blades back and down, lift through the top of your head, one more breath, and then roll to come back down from bottom to top. And inhale, lift again, head, shoulders, chest, ribs. Exhale, roll and come back down. Good job. Inhale, roll, come up. Head is first. Maybe this time you can lift the thighs. And then exhale, come back to child's pose. Keep your toes pointed. And from here, we'll slide through and come through to upward dog. So chest is going to scrape the floor as you come forward. So inhale, slide close to the floor. Pull the chest forward and through, upward dog. Round the spine to come back to your child's pose. 2 more times. Inhale, slide across the mat, come forward, come through an upward dog. Exhale, round the spine, come back, hips to heels, child's pose. Again, inhale, slide across the mat, lift up through the top of the head, pull the chest open. Exhale, round, child's pose. Good job. And from here, downward dog. So lift your hips to the sky. We'll spend a few moments in our downward dog so that we can hopefully achieve the stretch from the downward dog. So when we first start yoga, downward dog does not feel like a stretchy, comfortable, happy place. It feels like it's almost often looks like this, like a plank, and it often feels like hard work. So once we start to develop the mindset around what it is, then it starts to feel good. So for most of us, I want you to feel the thigh bones plug up. If you're watching me, you'll sort of maybe see what I'm doing. I'm plugging my thigh bones up into my hip sockets. That might lift my heels a little bit. My knees might be bent. But feel this lift of the thigh bones. Then the hips lift up. Then press the chest back towards the thighs. And then press down through your index and thumb, knuckles and fingertips. And then wrap your triceps back. So squeeze your arms, upper arms in towards your cheeks or ears. Tuck chin to chest so that you're not trying to hold your head forward and engage your neck. And breathe. And only once the thigh bones are lifted might you be able to reach the heels back and lengthen, stretch the backs of the legs more. Good job. Then we'll step the right foot behind the left foot, and so that the pinky toes are next to each other. Then walk the hands back towards the feet. So you've got crossed legs now. Press down through the big toe knuckles. The back leg is straight as possible. The front leg is bent. Inhale, halfway lift. So just to get a bit of length through our chest. And exhale, belly on the thighs and fold. Now let the head go and feel the top of the head reaching towards the toes. If you want to, you might hold the backs of the heels or something, but look for length here. So I want you to actively lengthen the sternum towards the toes rather than rounding in towards the knee. Get long here instead. Good, and then walk the hands back to the top of the mat. Undo your legs, take them as wide as the mat, and walk the hands back maybe a hand's distance closer to the feet. Reach the right hand to the outside of the left leg or foot, and then pull on it to tuck yourself underneath this left arm. So twist your body underneath the left side of, twist your head underneath the left side of your body. Keep pressing down through the index and thumb on the left hand and squeeze the arm in towards the midline. Keep pulling back on both hips. And then walk the hands back, another hand distance forward. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. Pick up the left heel, turn it out. Pick up the right heel, turn it out. So you're slightly, ever so slightly, pigeon-toed. And then step the left foot behind the right foot so that the pinky toes are next to each other. Walk the hands back, closer to the feet. Press down through the big toe knuckles. The front right knee is bent. The back knee is straight-ish. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen and exhale, fold. Belly is on the thighs. Top of the head's reaching towards the toes. And feel the deep stretch down the back of the left leg. Walk the hands back to the top of the mat. Undo the legs, take them as wide as the mat, and then walk the hands back about a hand's distance from your normal downward dog. Left hand reaches to the outside of the right leg, and it might either hold the heel or the foot or the shin or whatever it can hold. And pull this right arm towards the midline, pull back on the right hip, Tuck yourself underneath this right arm. So look up to the sky. Nice deep twist here. See if you can let something go on the next exhale. Good, come back. Bring the hands forward. Keep the feet wide. Turn the heels out slightly. And lift, plug the thigh bones up. Maybe the heels touch the floor. Draw the belly in. Press chest back to thighs. And then walk the feet to the top of the mat. Take them wide, keep them wide. Turn the toes out slightly, this time heels in. Come down into your deepest squat. If your deepest squat is here with your heels on the floor, then come here, press your knees apart. If you can come all the way down, that's great. It's nice and comfortable then and you don't have to work so hard. So you might feel like your elbows are able to come to the insides of the knees and you can press your knees apart. And lift up through the top of the chest. If the hands can come together, that's great. It gives you support so you can press the knees apart. But heels on the floor. So if the heels are lifted, you'll never quite get the flexibility in the ankles and yeah, sort of the whole leg really. That is beneficial. Yeah, so keep the heels on the floor. If it means you're up higher, you'll eventually come down. I didn't used to be able to do this like a year ago. So good, hands to the floor, hips to the sky. I've got a rogue hair. Keep the toes turned out. Inhale, halfway lift, so pull the chest forwards. Weight now comes onto the balls of the feet. And on the exhale, stay forward on the balls of the feet as you fold. If you want to hold on to sort of the backs of the heels, wrap the elbows around the backs of the calves, you can for a deeper stretch. Knees can absolutely be bent here and they should be instead of this, which I see all the time. So we want to bend the knees if we're doing that so that we can lift our sitting bones up more and then lengthen our body down more rather than rounding. So bending the knees is great, top of the head reaching down. Keep pulling the sitting bones up. Sitting bones are here at the back, you sit on them and they like bones. And then we'll just move through that a few times. So bring the hips down towards the heels, lift through the chest. Hips to the sky in that toes out forward fold. And then hips down into our squat. Lift through the chest, push the knees apart. Hips to the sky, forward fold, toes out. Weight is forward. Do one more time, hips down, knees press apart. Chest is lifted, weight is back. And then hips to the sky, forward fold. Good. Now heel toe the feet in about hip width apart, bend the knees and round the spine to come up to standing. Press down through the heels. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And on the exhale, bring the right hand down. Reach the left hand up and over. I'm going the opposite way to you, by the way. So I want you to really turn this right hand out. It'll be on the other side for you. Reach this left palm up and over. Press the hips to the left side. Press down evenly through both feet. Keep rotating this right shoulder open. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, left hand takes right side head. Guides it over. Keep that right palm facing up and the thumb turning back. Relax into the right side neck. Breathe space into it. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, left hand down, palm faces away, right hand up and over. Press evenly through both feet as you move the hips to the right. Keep rotating this left palm open to the side. Thumb is pointing back. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, left hand takes right side head, guide the right ear to the right shoulder. Keep this left palm facing up. Relax your face, relax the left side of your neck. Inhale, both arms to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. So come all the way down into your deep fold. And this time hold the forward fold. You can either wrap the hands behind the ankles, fingertips towards the heels. You could even, if you're pretty flexible, fingers under the heels, see what you feel. Otherwise you can just sort of hold the backs of the calves there and pull yourself down rather than pull it rounding into the legs. See if you can make yourself longer. So weight is forward on the balls of the feet. Lift up your sitting bones. Stretch your body over and forward. And down. Good job. Release that. Step the right foot to the back of the mat as far as it can go. So really stretch before you even come up anywhere. Just left knees over left ankle here. Reach that right knee right back. You might even point the toes, lift the knee a few times and see if you can stretch out that hip flexor a bit more. Hips are forward and down. If it's the first stretch for your hip flexor, it might feel pretty juicy. Then, if you can, you walk your hands to this left thigh without moving your hips back like this. So keep the hips forward and down and start to peel your chest open. Keep pressing this right outer hip forwards. Bring the palms together so the pinky edge of the hand connects. Reach up through the fingers. Keep pressing the chest through, triceps forwards. And then right hand to the floor. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Lift and extend. Wrap the rib cage around towards this left thigh. Keep the left thigh drawing towards the midline. Draw the right shoulder back, lift through the top fingers. Lengthen the top of the head towards a little high on that wall in front of you. Top of the head. So the head is long. Neck is long. And now from here, we're going to pivot on our right knee so that the right foot comes over to the right side of the mat. Step this left foot back. Sorry about having my back to you. So press down through this right knee. Left toes point to the left side of the mat and then anchor through the outer edge of the left foot. Reach this left arm towards the front of the mat. Draw this right shoulder back. Stretch out nice and openly through that left side of your body. You can let your head go if you want to. Keep lifting through the left hip, trying to stack the hips on top of each other. So rather than back bending here, we just want to pull the ribs in and lengthen the side body. Good. Bring the left hand back to the mat. Bring the left knee to the mat. Come back into a child's pose. And then inhale, slide your chest along the floor, elbows in close. Lift to your upward dog. Exhale, round and come back to your child's pose. Inhale, slide forward and through. Lift your chest. Exhale, round, come back to down, child's pose. Again, inhale. And exhale. And then tuck your toes. Draw your hips up and back, downward dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Plug your thigh bones up. Press your chest back. Broaden across your shoulder blades. So pull your shoulder blades apart. Wrap your triceps down. Press through your index and thumb and really just stretch out. Lift your hips. You can reach the heels back once the thighs lift. Good, and we'll just step the right foot forward between the hands from here. Left knee to the floor. Now, if you need to, move this right foot more forward so that you should not look like this. The foot and knee should not be close and you shouldn't be upright easily. Better to come more forward, stretch your chest more forward, just for today, just in this class. Press your hips more forwards, hands onto the top of this right thigh. Peel yourself up and back. Keep pressing this left hip forward. Really work into that. So rather than just like sinking into your lower back, you're lifting your chest a little. So you're lengthening this whole front side of your body on the left there. And then bring the palms together to touch, connecting the pinky edge. Press the hands together, lift up only if you like. This is a little add-on that you don't necessarily need. One more breath. And exhale, left hand to the floor. Inhale, right arm peels open. Use that bottom hand to twist you a little bit more. Reach a little more through the right fingers and try to draw your left rib cage towards your right inner thigh. Lift more through that top arm. You want to stack your right arm, your right shoulder, your left shoulder, and your left hand. So the right hand is not back here, it's lifted. And then pivot on the left knee so the foot comes to the left side of the mat. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Right foot in line with left knee. Stack the two hips and anchor the outer edge of the back foot. Then reach this right hand overhead. Pull the front rib cage in, belly is in. Stretch out through the side of the body actively. Keep pulling the left hand back almost towards the left knee. One more breath. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot forward again and the left foot forward again. Take the feet out as wide as the mat. Again, toes out, heels in. Sit it down for your squat, press the knees apart. Lift up through the chest. And then lift the hips to the sky. And step the left foot back this time. Left foot back. Keep the right toes turning out, the right knee turning out. Now, you can either place that back knee on the floor, no problem, for our lizard lunge, and just work into the depth. Or you can lift the back knee and come onto the toes of the back foot. So if you're pretty strong and flexible, this might feel really easy, but if you're somebody who works out predominantly, it might just feel better to bring that back knee to the floor. So at first, we're going to keep the inner edge of that right foot on the floor. We won't roll the foot out just for this first bit. So let the knee roll out, but keep the inner foot connected to the floor. Just keep working the hips forward and down. You might pull back gently on the hands to pull the chest through. And now let the right foot roll to the outer edge. Flex the foot a little bit to support the knee. If you want to rock a little side to side, you could do that. And this is a little extra that you might like to do, or maybe you could try it with a block. So reach this right hand forward and around and back towards the left foot. And then if you can, you'll bend the knee and the foot might be there for you. Little tip for this, if that back knee is right in here like this, it's really hard to get it. Like you have to kind of curl into this right leg and you're just kind of like closing everything. If that back knee is back further, you'll be more on the thigh than the knee and you'll have more space to bend the knee and open. So the idea is to open here. So you might use a strap for your foot here and you might be able to, I'm not going to undo it, but You could loop the strap around and hold on to the strap with the thumb up. So if your foot's back here, you might be able to hold on to the strap with the thumb up and still get a bit of a quad stretch. So we'll kick the foot into your hand if you have it. Breathe in. And then if you can, bend the elbow, bring the heel closer to the butt, just until you feel sensation. So a stretch in that left thigh. Good, bring that right hand back around to the top and pick up that back knee and bring that back foot in probably a couple of feet's distance, and then turn these right toes forward. Back foot is a 45-degree angle, and then anchor down the outer edge of the back foot. Pull this right hip back rather than moving off to the right. Can you pull it back and then lengthen your chest forward? Blocks will be really helpful here for most people. So you've got different settings that you can use. So rather than bending this knee and leaning onto the leg, I want you to pull the hip back. So pull this sitting bone back. The leg might not straighten, that's okay, it's not really the goal, but the pulling back of the hip is the goal. So as you pull back, can you stretch the chest forward? So now we're getting the hamstring, the outer hip a little bit too. Feel the inner thigh, draw inner thigh muscle, pull up into the groin. And then just take a couple of breaths. If you can, you might fold over the leg. Inhale, halfway lift, and step that back foot forward and wide. Come down into your squat. Knees apart, lift the chest, breathe in, and then hips up. We'll step the right foot back. And the back knee could be lifted, it could be on the floor. Left toes are turned out. Just work into the stretch. So the left inner foot connected to the floor for the first bit. Knee can roll out though. Pull the chest forward, really looking to lengthen the front of the body, front of the right thigh, and getting external rotation of this left thigh. So you might get an inner thigh stretch on the left here. You might get an outer hip stretch. All right, we can go in a little bit deeper by rolling to the outer edge of this left foot. Flex the foot. And I'll do it with a strap this side so you can see it if you want to. Reach this left hand forward and around. For most people in most classes, they can't do this. And that's okay. But you will get there if you use a strap. If you don't ever try it, your quad bone will always stay tight. The thigh quad bone, it's a muscle. The quad muscle gets really congested and really tight. It can be very painful to stretch. So it's a good idea to work with that so that it doesn't just end up being so tight that it tightens everything else and imbalances everything. So we'll kick the foot back, thumb of the left hand is up, inhale. And on the exhale, pull the heel closer to the butt. And release when you're ready. Tuck those back toes and step that back foot forward a couple of feet at least, probably more maybe. And then left toes point them forward and the back foot outer edge is grounded. The back foot is a 45 angle, and then we might use our blocks for our hands. And inhale, pull the chest forwards. And on the exhale, melt over the leg. Pull this left hip up and in towards the midline. Pull the left inner thigh into the groin. And then stretch yourself over this left leg. Couple breaths. Just let something go. Try to let some stiffness go from your body. Inhale, halfway lift, And step that back foot forward and wide. Come down into your squat again. And then we'll come all the way down to our bum. And we'll take a wide leg forward fold. So take your legs out as wide as is comfortable for you. And I'm bringing my blocks in the middle here because I might want them to sort of rest something on in a moment. So lift the toes up. Feel as though you're trying to plug the thigh bones into the hip sockets again. As that happens, it sort of pulls back with the thighs, but it pulls the pelvic, top of the pelvis forward rather than we're rounding in like this to try and lean forward and your spine's moving back. We want to try and tilt the pelvis forward. So that'll require some lengthening throughout your inner thighs, so we'll work with that. Hands either side of you, pick up the hips, tilt your pelvis forward, and then see if you're able to stretch forward. So you might be able to use your blocks here. But today it's a bit of an active stretch. So pull the sitting bones back, reach the chest forwards. Rather than rounding to find the fork, keep looking for length. Keep stretching the chest forwards. One more breath. And then walk the hands back. We'll take double pigeon from here. So cross right leg in front of you. The shin in front of you, so that the shin, I've turned to the side, but the shin will line up with the top edge of your mat. And then cross the left shin in front of the right shin, so that the feet are, knees are, shins and feet are a bit away from you. So instead of it being a cross-legged like this with the heels right in, I want you to this one today, push your feet away a little bit and then walk so that the feet come underneath the knees, so that's a tight cross. Once again, you can use your blocks for your head if you want to. You might not be able to lean far forward here, that's okay. Bring the hands behind the back, and if you can, hold opposite elbows. If not, hold your forearms or your wrists. Draw your shoulders back gently and let yourself melt forward. I'm not going to be able to go very far today. I'm just working with like a really tight hip. I don't really know what's wrong with it. I hadn't ran in a while, and then I did an 8K run, and I'm not sure whether that was the thing. Anyways, but I'm working with it and I'm just slowly nursing it back to health. So see if you can relax your outer hips a little here and just slowly start to let your head and your chest, your body fall forward. One more breath. Inhale, bring yourself back up and release the arms. Just change the cross of the legs. So right shin in front now. I'm going to move them out the way because I'm not even getting to them. So the heels come underneath the knees. Push the shins away from you a little bit. The shins cross at about halfway down the shin. Bring the arms behind the back. Whichever hand was in front, you'll feel it because you'll notice what the sensations are on that arm. See if you can just sort of cross the other way so the different hand is closer to you. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, reach out and over. Just try to relax a little here. Relax into the hips. See if that will help you to soften forwards. Inhale, bring yourself back up. And release that. And then one more little stretch for our shoulders. This is just one of my favorite stretches, and I like to do it pretty much every day. So we're going to bring our elbows to the floor, about shoulder width apart. Knees are underneath your hips, and then you're going to hold a block in between your palms. So rather than in between your fingertips, in between your palms. So the fingers have nothing to do with it because they will want to sort of grip and do it all. But press between the palms, it's the harder part of your hand. Then bring the elbows forward about shoulder width apart, or even skinnier, even narrower. Hips over the knees, maybe you'll walk the knees back a little bit and then just let your chest melt down towards the floor. So you're trying to pull your chest back towards your knees, and then the top of the sternum is the heaviest part. Fingers just pointing to the sky, and you'll feel, you can let your head fall. Just a nice deep external rotation of the shoulders there. And take some slow, steady, smooth breaths. Can you relax a little more into it? Let something go. One more breath. Good. And then just bring the pinky edge of the hand down to the floor. Keep holding the block. And then stretch the chest back towards the floor and towards the thighs. So just lengthen the arms. Keep the elbows squeezing in a little. Good. And then roll forward. Come onto your tummy and then come onto your back. Bring the right knee into the chest. Squeeze it in towards the armpit, and then bring that right knee over to the left with the left hand. As you reach the right arm out to the right, reach those right fingers towards the back right corner of the room, and slowly keep the right shoulder on the floor as you roll that left knee over to the right. Take it slow. Breathe in and out of each. Breathe in and out of the movement. So as you breathe in, stretch your body, expand. And as you breathe out, let that right knee roll over a little more. So a little more deeper twist. Roll over to your back. And then swap. Right leg long, left knee in. Squeeze it in. And then with the right hand, guide the left knee over to the right. Reach the left arm out to the left. Reach the left fingers towards the back left corner of the room. Keep the shoulder on the floor. Look to the left. With each exhale, see if there's a little more release so that you can deepen, but don't force it. Roll over onto your back and take happy baby. Knees wide, close to the armpits. You can either hold backs of the thighs or reach the elbows to the insides of the knees, and then extend the hands to the outsides of the feet, and then gently apply a little bit of weight rather than pulling, a bit of weight on the soles of the feet to draw the knees down. Keep the tailbone heavy, keep the back of the neck long. Just relax a little into it. Don't force it. See if you can let go of some muscles in the hips. Deep breath in. Big exhale through the mouth. Good job. That is it, my friends. Bring the feet together, send them long on the mat, take the feet out as wide as the mat, bring the hands out alongside you. Let the palms roll up, let the body be heavy, and allow yourself a couple of minutes here in Shavasana. It's a really good idea. It's just a couple of minutes, just a couple of minutes more. So if you can, stay here because it allows your body to reset. So just feel the whole back line of your body, every part of the back of your body gently sinking into the earth. And your whole body is recalibrating now. So it's rewiring after all of the stretching work you've done. And then when you get up, let your body be renewed and fresh. Come back to this video as many times as you like. Please leave me any comments, like it if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.